Ho, ho, ho! Well, hello there! Welcome! I am so very glad you're here. Yes, I'm Santa Claus, and it warms my heart to have your company today. I was just settling in, watching the snowflakes dance outside my window, and I thought it would be lovely to spend some time together. We have a good long while ahead of us, you and I. As the hours pass, I'll share a few things with you. Oh, perhaps a story from the workshop, or an answer to a question I've received in a letter. Sometimes it's just a thought that I believe is worth sharing, a little piece of wisdom from an old friend. There is no need to rush. This is simply a warm and cheerful backdrop for your day, whether you are busy with preparations or just taking a quiet moment for yourself. Thank you, truly, for joining me. It means more than you know. Now, let's begin. Have you ever looked at the stocking you've hung up so carefully and wondered how that tradition ever began? Ho, ho, ho! It's one of my very favorites. I see them every year, you know, all across the world. Some are knitted by grandmothers with a name stitched right in. Others are bright and new, waiting for their very first Christmas morning. And oh, the joy I have in filling them with little treasures, a shiny orange, a handful of sweets, a small toy that brings a big smile. It's a wonderful, simple magic. But that magic started a very, very long time ago with a simple act of kindness. There was a good man who had fallen on hard times. He had 3 daughters he loved dearly, but he had no money to help them as they grew. Now, a kind soul named Nicholas heard of their troubles. He wanted to help, but he wanted to do it in secret, so the family wouldn't be embarrassed. One night, he crept to the little cottage. He saw that the daughters had washed their stockings and hung them by the fireplace to dry. And right then, he had an idea. He climbed up to the chimney and dropped 3 little bags of gold down into the dark. And where do you think they landed? Ho-ho-ho! 1 in each stocking, a perfect fit. That's what I think of, you see. It wasn't about the gold. It was about the quiet, unexpected gift. It was about a kindness given from the heart, with no thought of thanks. And so today, whenever a stocking is filled, it's a little echo of that wonderful night. It's a reminder that the most beautiful gifts are the small surprises, the little moments of love and care that tell someone you are thinking of them. It's a pocketful of Christmas morning hope, hanging there, waiting for you. Ah, the great ledger is open before me tonight. The ink on these pages, it practically glows with kindness. My quill has just finished recording a new entry, and, well, it's one that has warmed my old heart so much that I feel I must share it with you. My gaze is drawn to a place where the sun warms the sand and the waves sing a constant song. A lovely coastal town in Australia. There, a young girl with hands so small, but a heart so very large, spends her weekends walking along the shore. She isn't looking for shells or treasure, you see. No, she carries a sack, and with every step she picks up the plastic bottles and forgotten wrappers that the sea has washed ashore. And do you know why she does this? She does it for the sea turtles that come to nest and for the little penguins that waddle along the rocks. She seeks no reward for it. There is no club, no prize waiting for her. Her only reward is the sight of a clean beach and the knowledge that she is a guardian for those who cannot protect themselves. Ho ho! It is a beautiful thing. It reminds me that the grandest gifts we can give are not always wrapped in paper and bows. They are the gifts of care, of responsibility, of love for this wonderful world we all share. To look after our home and all the creatures within it, that is magic greater than any I possess in my workshop. Reading entries like this, it fills me with such an immense sense of pride. It shows me that the spirit of Christmas, the spirit of true, selfless giving is alive and well all year round in every corner of the world. It gives me such hope for the future, knowing that hearts like hers are out there quietly making the world a brighter place for us all. There are moments up here at the North Pole when the world is quiet and the snow is falling that I find myself thinking about Mrs. Claus. She is the heart of Christmas, truly. She has a way of seeing straight to the center of things, especially when I get lost in the details. I remember one year, it must have been a century or two ago now. The mail sacks were overflowing. It seemed every child in the world had written to me, and the naughty and nice list had grown so long, the parchment stretched clear across my workshop and back again. I confess, I was feeling the weight of it all. I've even thought to myself, perhaps I could just review it a little faster this year. Shorten things just a bit. Well, Mrs. Claus must have seen the worry etched on my brow. She didn't say a word. She just came into my study with a steaming cup of her wonderful peppermint tea and a small, fragile piece of paper. She placed it right on top of the endless list. It was the very first letter I ever received. I can still see it so clearly. It was written in a wobbly red crayon on a scrap of old brown wrapping paper. The words were simple, and they weren't for the child who wrote it. The letter just asked for a warm blanket for a younger brother. Ho! Holding that little note, all my weariness just melted away. My wife, with her quiet wisdom, had reminded me of the most important truth of all. Every letter, every name on that list is a child's hope, held in my hands. Her simple, thoughtful act gave me all the strength I needed to sit back down and give every single one the care it deserved. She's always been my compass, that wonderful woman, always pointing me back to what truly matters. You know, one of the things I love most about life up here at the North Pole is the sound of laughter. It echoes through the workshop and bounces off the snowy hills. The elves are always sharing little riddles with each other, and I've picked up a few over the years. I thought I might share one or two with you. Here's a good one to start. What do you call a snowman with a six-pack? An abdominal snowman! Ho, ho, ho! Oh, that one does make me chuckle. The reindeer find it especially funny, picturing a very strong-looking fellow out in the winter fields. All right, here's another for you. Why are Christmas trees so bad at sewing? Because they always drop their needles. Ho, ho, ho! It's true, you know. Mrs. Claus is always reminding me to be careful when I brush past the big tree in our living quarters. I think I have one more. Let's see. Ah, yes. What do you get if you cross a Christmas tree with an apple? A pineapple! Ho, ho, ho! Now that is a marvelous thought, isn't it? A tree that gives us both pine cones and delicious fruit. The workshop chefs would have a wonderful time with that. Sharing a simple bit of fun like that, it's such a wonderful thing. Laughter is a spark, you see. It's a gift we can give to each other so easily, and it truly helps make the season bright. Never forget the power of a good, hearty laugh. Oh, would you look at that? The snow was beginning to fall again outside my window. I have watched more snowfalls than there are stars in the sky, I think, but I never, ever grow tired of it. You know, so many people have wondered how it is that no two snowflakes are ever quite the same. It is a lovely little mystery. But here, at the North Pole, our snow holds a very special secret. It's a magic I've treasured for a very long time. We call them the laughter-forged snowflakes. You see, it all begins in the workshop, or the kitchens, or even out in the stables with the reindeer. Whenever an elf shares a good story or plays a funny trick and a truly hearty, joyful laugh rings out, well, something magical happens. A tiny, invisible echo of that laughter, a little piece of that pure happiness. It floats up from their smiling faces and rises into the crisp, chilly air. The moment that little shimmer of joy touches the frost, it freezes instantly. It blossoms into a one-of-a-kind crystalline pattern that is the perfect frozen shape of that single happy moment. So when you see a great swirling flurry of snow here, you are seeing much more than just the weather. You're witnessing a blizzard of pure frozen joy. Each and every flake is a memory of a happy heart blanketing our little village in wonder. It's one of the small, simple magics that makes everything else work. It's a reminder that every little bit of kindness and cheer we create matters, and it all comes together to make that one special night possible. the letters. They arrive in such wonderful ways, some by wind, some by owl post, and some feel as though they've been delivered straight from the heart. I have one of those right here. The handwriting is large and careful, and at the bottom is a wonderful crayon drawing of a very happy shining star. Let me see. Dear Santa, my name is Leo. I am 7. This year, my school is doing a holiday pageant, and I have a part. I only have one line to say, but when I think about it, my tummy feels all wibbly-wobbly. I am supposed to be the smiling star, but I'm worried I would be too scared to smile. My family will be there watching. I want to make them proud. So, Santa, I don't really need a toy this year. What I was hoping for, if it's not too much trouble, is if you could bring me just a little bit of bravery, enough for one line. I drew you a picture of my costume. I hope you like it. Love, Leo. Oh, my dear boy, what a wonderful wish. It's a wish heavier than any sack of toys and more precious than any glittering jewel. To ask for courage, that is a powerful thing. You know, Leo, many people think bravery is about not being afraid, but that isn't true at all. Bravery isn't the absence of fear. It's doing the thing that scares you, even while your tummy feels wibbly-wobbly. The secret is you already have that courage inside of you. Writing this very letter proves it. A star doesn't have to try to be bright, my boy. It simply is, and it shines its brightest when it's surrounded by the big, quiet dark. It doesn't worry if it's the biggest or smallest star in the sky. It just shines. So when you step out onto that stage, Leo, just take a deep breath and remember that smiling star you drew for me. That is you. Find your family in the crowd and let your own little light shine just for them. I have a feeling it will be the brightest light in the entire room. I am so very, very proud of you. Ho, ho, ho. You know, the elves and I quite enjoy a good puzzle now and then. It's a wonderful way to look at something familiar in a completely new light. I have a couple here that I thought you might enjoy. Are you ready for the first one? Here it is. This is the heart of a festive room where a warm fire glows. It's where the stockings are hung in neat and hopeful rows. It offers warmth and comfort from the winter's chilly bite. What is this brick or stone structure that shines so cozy and bright? That one always makes me feel warm just thinking about it. Now, if you need a little clue, think about the cozy spot in the living room where the family gathers on a cold night. Do you have your answer? It is the fireplace. Ho-ho! Of course! I see so many on my journey, each one a lovely beacon of welcome and cheer. All right, let's try another one. Listen closely. These are special songs heard only at a certain time of year. They tell stories of joy, winter, and holiday cheer. Families sing them together, and they're played on the radio all day long. What are these festive tunes that make everyone want to sing along? This one fills the air with such wonderful spirit. For a little help, think of songs like Jingle Bells or Silent Night. Yes, that's it. They are Christmas carols. Ho ho! The elves have their own workshop choir, and their singing is one of my very favorite sounds in the whole world. Well done! It's a joy to share a good riddle. They remind us that there is always a little bit of wonder waiting to be discovered, isn't there? You know, sometimes the most wonderful days at the North Pole are the ones that don't quite go according to plan. The other day, the air had that perfect winter sparkle, and Mrs. Claus suggested a friendly little ice sculpting competition right in the village square. Oh, what a splendid idea! The elves brought out 2 enormous blocks of the clearest ice you've ever seen, shimmering like captured starlight. Mrs. Claus, you see, has such a wonderfully artistic touch. With a few graceful taps of her chisel, a magnificent creature began to emerge from her block. I, on the other hand, had a grand vision. A sleigh, of course, an epic, magnificent sleigh to dwarf all other sleighs. I set to work with great enthusiasm. Chips of ice flew everywhere. But as Mrs. Claus' sculpture became a breathtakingly detailed reindeer with delicate antlers and a nose just waiting for a touch of magic, my sleigh, well, it seemed to have its own ideas. The runners weren't quite even, and the back was a bit higher than the front. When we both stepped back, there it was, her perfect magical reindeer, and my creation, which was not a sleigh at all, but a very charming, if lopsided, rocking horse. We looked at her masterpiece, then at my little wobbly horse, and we just started laughing. A deep, happy laugh that echoed across the square. I took a bow and declared her the undisputed Queen of the Crystal Ice. The grand prize, I announced to all the elves cheering, was the very first cup of hot cocoa from the workshop kettle with all the extra marshmallows. It's funny, isn't it? The best memories aren't always about creating something perfect, but about the joy you share while trying, especially when it ends with hot cocoa. On my long journey round the world, I get to see the most remarkable things. You know, the spirit of the season, that wonderful feeling of joy and togetherness. It has so many wonderful ways of showing itself, shining brightly in every corner of the globe. My thoughts today are drifting to a warm and beautiful place, the country of Venezuela. They have a tradition there that always brings a smile to my face. It's called patinatas. Ho ho! Now just imagine this. In the lovely city of Caracas, as the sun is just beginning to wake up, the streets fill not with cars, but with a happy whirring sound. From the 16th of December all the way to Christmas Eve, whole families get ready for the day. But instead of walking, they put on their roller skates. Yes, grandparents, parents, and little ones all gliding along together. The city officials make sure the roads are cleared just for them, creating a wonderful flowing river of skaters heading to the early morning Christmas services. The air is filled with laughter and cheerful greetings. It's such an energetic and joyful way to come together and celebrate the promise of the season. It just goes to show you there is no single right way to feel the joy of Christmas, whether it's by a quiet fire, singing a carol, or gliding on 8 little wheels through a city at dawn. The spirit finds its way into every heart in its own unique and beautiful fashion. And that, my dear friends, is a gift in itself. You know, in all my years, I've gathered more stories than there are stars in the winter sky. Each one holds a little bit of North Pole magic. I was just thinking of one. Perhaps you'd like to hear it. It's the tale of the Jingle Jesters and the fading Giggle Geyser. Deep beneath the workshop, at the very heart of the North Pole, lies our greatest secret. It's not a list or a map. It is a living wonder called the Giggle Geyser. For ages it has shimmered and danced, a fountain of pure, warm light. And it's powered by the most wonderful energy in the universe, the laughter of children. Every giggle, every heartfelt chuckle from around the world travels here on the wind and feeds its glow, keeping our spirits bright and the reindeer's hooves light. But there was a year, a long, long time ago, when the world grew awfully quiet. People became so busy and so serious, they seemed to forget how to laugh. And here at the pole, we felt it immediately. Our beautiful Giggle Geyser, which once roared with joy, began to fade. It sputtered, the workshop lights grew dim, and the elves' cheerful songs became quiet hums. The magic was weakening. I knew I couldn't let that sparkle disappear from the world. So I called upon a very special group of elves. They weren't toy makers or bakers. They were the Jingle Jesters. Their only job is to create joy. With their funny floppy hats and pockets full of harmless mischief, I sent them out into the world. They didn't carry sacks of toys, but sacks of silliness. They told riddles that made no sense, tumbled in town squares until everyone was smiling, and started grand, joyous snowball fights. Slowly, like the sun rising after a long night, we heard it. A small chuckle from a little boy in a village, a hearty laugh from a grandfather watching their antics. One by one, these beautiful sounds of happiness traveled back to us, and our Giggle Geyser began to stir. It bubbled, it gurgled, and then whoosh! It erupted once more in a brilliant column of joyful light, stronger than ever before. The magic was back. That's the story. It's a good reminder, I think. The presents and the decorations are all wonderful, of course, but they are not the source of the magic. The true engine of the Christmas spirit has always been and will always be the simple, honest joy we find in a shared smile or a good, hearty laugh. That is the light that powers everything we do here. It's the most powerful magic of all.
You know, the world is filled with so many wonderful sounds during the holidays. Carols in the air, the happy chatter of families. But I was just sitting here by the fire, thinking about my own favorite sounds. The quiet ones, the ones that happen only on that one special night. I suppose if I had to make a list of my top 3 sounds of Christmas Eve, it would be these. The first would have to be the soft crunch of fresh snow under the reindeer's hooves. Oh yes, that is the very first sound of our journey, just as we prepare to lift into the starlit sky. It's a sound filled with such promise and quiet excitement, a whisper that tells me our grand adventure has truly begun. My second favorite sound is one I listened for in every single home. It is the muffled, sleepy sigh of a child dreaming soundly in their bed. There is simply nothing else like it in all the world. It's the sound of pure peace, and it tells me that all is well in the house, and the dreams of Christmas morning are already beginning to dance. It warms my old heart every time. And the third sound, well, this one comes toward the very end of my flight. It's the faint, distant sound of a bell from a town square clock chiming midnight. That single, clear note travels over the rooftops, the official signal that Christmas Day has arrived. It's a beautiful, hopeful sound that lets me know my work is nearly complete for another year. The crunch of snow, a child's peaceful sigh, and a distant midnight bell. Ho, ho, ho! They aren't the loudest sounds, are they? But taken all together, they create the most wonderful music in the world. It's the true, quiet song of Christmas Eve. Ho, ho, ho! I must say, after all these years, my dear wife still sees things in a way that fills my heart with wonder.
She has a special knack for noticing the quietest corners of a bustling room, for seeing the one soul who might need a little extra warmth. Just the other day, the workshop was humming with happy energy, hammers tapping, bells jingling, but I noticed a new young elf standing by the wood-carving station, looking a bit lost in the whirlwind of it all. He was trying his best, but his shoulders were slumped and his smile hadn't quite reached his eyes yet. Of course, Mrs. Claus had noticed too. I watched as she came over, not with a grand announcement, but with 2 steaming mugs of her famous peppermint cocoa. She handed one to the little elf and simply stood with him for a moment, sharing the quiet warmth. A little while later, I glanced over and saw him laughing, showing his wood carving to a few of the other elves he'd just met. That evening, as we sat watching the snow fall, I mentioned how happy I was to see the young fellow had found his footing. She just smiled that wonderful knowing smile of hers and said, "A warm drink can fall more than just chilly fingers. It falls a shy heart too." Isn't that just the truth? She has such a simple, beautiful way of putting things. It's a good reminder, isn't it, that sometimes the biggest welcome comes in the smallest of cups. A little kindness is a magic all its own.